As an executive coach, I work in companies with upper level management on predominantly on communication, how to have the difficult conversations most effectively, how to tell difficult truths with compassion so that they get heard, so that they're more audible. And I also work with families around the same issues: communication between generations, communication between spouses or parents and adult children on the tougher issues, and how to communicate directly, effectively, and compassionately. And what I notice is there are ways to deliver direct truths that are very blunt, and the listener almost can't hear them if they aren't couched in compassionate understanding. The listener actually can't hear what's being said to them. Whereas when I work with clients, we work on how to effectively communicate difficult truths in a way that can be heard. And that tends to be when the speaker is empathetically speaking to the listener. So saying something along the lines of, I understand how difficult this might be to hear, or I want to talk about a difficult issue with you. Just framing or contextualizing of a difficult truth actually allows the listener to get prepared to hear what's going to be said to them. There's something called meta communication, which means communicating about the communication. And this works wonders. And an example of that might be, let's say an adult child is going to talk to their aging parent about giving up control, about relinquishing some financial control to the adult child. Meta communication would mean talking about the difficulty of this communication before actually having it. So it might go something like this. The adult child might say, I want to have a conversation that I think is going to be challenging. And if I were you, mom or dad, I understand I would feel really anxious about giving up control, and what I'm going to say to you might sound like I'm asking you to give up control. So I want to have this conversation in a way that really respects how hard this might be for you, how hard this conversation might be for you. So it's actually naming. Meta communication is actually communicating about all the stuff that might go on for the listener. And what happens is that the listener, if the listener's defensive stance is addressed, they stop having it and thinking it. So in other words, if I say to you, I want to talk about something, and it may feel to you like I'm going to try to take your control away. If I say that, then you are not going to have to hold this feeling, oh my God, they're trying to take my control away. Because I've already said it for you, and it softens the listener. The listener doesn't have to hold that concern because it's been named. So there's something about naming the concerns that might come up for the listener directly and verbally and explicitly that actually allows the listener to drop those concerns or release some of those concerns and actually listen.